Today, we live in an era of modern warfare, defined by AI-guided missiles, stealth platforms, and hypersonic weaponry. Yet a nation can possess the most advanced arsenal on Earth and still remain physically trapped by the shape of the planet. This geopolitical reality is known as Kaplan's revenge. It dictates that no matter how sophisticated military technology becomes, your static coordinates on a map dictate your absolute strategic limits. To actually calculate the balance of global power, we have to look past the technology and examine the raw geometry of the Earth. There is no clearer test case for this reality today than China. Over the last few decades, Beijing has built a massive economic engine and a rapidly expanding blue water naval fleet. But when it attempts to project that maritime power outward, its own coastline inherently ties its hands. We are going to map the specific geometric boundaries that currently lock down Chinese naval projection. We are looking at a rapidly expanding economic giant caught inside an immovable topographical cage. Start at the Chinese mainland and look east, toward the vast expanse of the open Pacific Ocean. This map shows an immediate physical barricade right offshore, the first island chain, comprising Taiwan, Japan, and the Philippines. These landmasses function as unsinkable aircraft carriers for U.S. allies, creating a continuous wall of overlapping radar and missile defense zones. Shifting south into the South China Sea, the problem becomes one of bathymetry, the depth and shape of the ocean floor. This region is incredibly shallow, creating immense friction for any large-scale naval operation. For a submarine fleet that relies on deep water to remain hidden, these shallow depths severely restrict covert deployment. These physical limitations are compounded by the sheer density of rival nations operating in the exact same cramped waters. The American Navy actively exploits this crowded geography through constant freedom of navigation operations, sailing directly through Beijing's maritime claims. The eastern route is a mathematically locked door, forcing China to push its maritime strategy south. Following the sea lanes south from the South China Sea, we reach the primary arteries of Southeast Asia. The stakes here are absolute. The Malacca Dilemma places Beijing in a geographic hostage situation, relying on a fragile, unprotectable thread to power its economy. Pushing further west into the Indian Ocean, Beijing has attempted to secure a physical footprint along the route. This is known as the string of pearls strategy, acquiring commercial and dual-use port facilities across the region. However, these facilities come with immediate limitations. Many are located in heavily underdeveloped areas or politically volatile zones, and they face a supreme geographic threat, a highly capable regional rival. This map charts the Indian Navy's home advantage. Any extended Chinese supply line must pass directly through India's primary operational radius. That home advantage is fortified by American strategic support and intelligence sharing. Pushing into the Indian Ocean doesn't solve the problem. It forces China's logistical tail straight into a geographic trap. If we pull out and view the entire Eastern Hemisphere, we can examine how Beijing is attempting to counter these constraints. China's disparate global actions represent a calculated series of architectural bypasses designed to circumvent its geographic limits. Look at the construction of artificial islands in the South China Sea. By dredging reefs and building airstrips, Beijing is physically expanding its own defense radii to push back against the first island chain. Consider the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. These overland pipelines are designed to offload crude oil directly into Western China, physically rerouting the supply chain entirely around the Malacca Strait. Then there is the push for alternative, northern sea lanes. Expanding operations into the Arctic provides a waterway completely free from the chokepoints controlled by the U.S. and Indian navies. Trillions of dollars, new blue water navies, and the creation of artificial land are all deployed with one objective: to neutralize the map. Until those massive engineering feats can fully circumvent the Earth's topography, Kaplan's revenge guarantees that geography, not technology, dictates the board.